Hello and welcome back to Fresh Off the Reel. My name is Lib.
And my name is Pat the Hedgehog. If you know, you know. This is a topical reference. The trailer for Sonic 3 comes out tomorrow, so it's topical and dates the episode.
Thanks for dating the episode. This episode is going to come out in 4 months.
So that movie will be out by then. It's good.
Today, we're going to be talking about the internet sensation, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, that new Ryan Reynolds movie, directed by Sean Levy, a Free Guy. We're talking about that one, right?
Yeah, we're going all the way back to episode 2 of this show. We're talking about Free Guy again.
Is that really episode 2?
That was, yeah, that was episode 2.
Every time I think of that movie, it gets worse.
Yeah, you know what? Hold on. What I have it at? 3.5. I'm about to put it down right now.
I have it at 3.
All right, I just put it down. You just made
Nice.
history, Sean Levy. Good job. In the wrong way.
The wrong way. But he also made history with this movie, because this movie is doing pretty good. This movie is making money. It's the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time, right? I think I read that somewhere.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, the highest grossing R-rated movie ever made.
Deserved question mark? I don't know, but it got that Marvel logo on it, so it's gonna do well.
Yeah, we're gonna find out today. We're gonna talk cinema. Last episode, I spent like 60% of it talking about Dune, so now it's time for Pat's 60% of
Yeah,
this
today
episode.
I'm gonna spend 60% talking about Sonic the Hedgehog, which is not what the episode is.
All right, go ahead.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Deadpool Wolverine.
We saw it in theaters. We saw this one together in theaters.
We were a large group for this one.
Yeah, I think this might have been the biggest group I've been to see a movie to in theaters. We were 14 people, I think.
That's a lot.
I'm not gonna fact check that. I think we were 14 people.
Yeah, I'll agree with you.
It was a real big group. It was a fun time to see it in theaters. This is another one of those Marvel movies where it is a much better experience to watch it in the theater, because I can't imagine it hits anywhere near as hard without the people behind you screaming. But it sure is a movie. I gave it a 4 out of 5 personally. I enjoyed it. It was good. I'm making a lot of jokes about the quality of the movie, but just like jokes aside, I have to say I did enjoy it. It was good. As good as Deadpool 1 and 2, I don't know. We'll figure it out together. But it's good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we're gonna go on a bit of a journey today because we're not just gonna be talking about Deadpool and Wolverine because this is the third movie in a trilogy. We're probably just gonna end up talking about the first 2 movies anyway. You're gonna get a good chunk of review today.
Yeah, it'll be. This is mainly focused on the Deadpool and Wolverine, but we will obviously reference those other 2. I guess we'll get those out of the way though right now. What do you think of Deadpool 1 and 2, Leb?
Well, Deadpool 1 and 2, I watched them pretty far apart for some reason. I don't know. I watched Deadpool like 2 years ago, and then I watched Deadpool 2 a couple months ago, before Deadpool and Wolverine came out. Like right before we went to see it, I watched Deadpool 2.
We watched that together too.
Yeah, we watched all these together. All 3 of them we watched together. Deadpool 1, I gave it a 4 out of 5. I like it a lot. I thought it was really funny. Knowing it came out on Valentine's Day makes it a lot funnier.
Yep, it is a Valentine's Day movie.
Mr. Deadpool, he's a funny guy. I like that a lot of the movie focuses on his backstory. I don't know about Deadpool's backstory, so it was fun to learn about it. He breaks the fourth wall a lot. It's really funny when he does. Topical jokes, good humor, all around good movie, I would say.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is damn near perfect in this character. He's in this role. He's great. That is something consistent across all 3 movies. I think he's really good in them. Ryan Reynolds is an interesting actor to talk about because I don't know if he's just a really charming guy or if he's a good actor. I'm still not sure. He might have a questionable agent because he isn't in a lot of really good movies, but he is a very big name, which is interesting. I can't think of a movie he's in that's like stand out. This is like fantastic cinema, you know? Like he's in that the Deadpool trilogy, obviously. He's in Bullet Train. He's in Free Guy. He's in Detective Pikachu. Like all these movies are like, yeah, some of them are good, but he doesn't have a big standout role yet, which is interesting for someone who's like such a big name as he is. And it leaves me questioning as if he's actually a really good actor or if I just think he's charming and handsome, which he is. He is charming and handsome. I think he has yet to find that big standout role. But I think Wade Wilson, Deadpool, is as close as you're going to get for right now. He's fantastic at this character. He does a great job.
Yeah, I think so too. He's really funny in these movies. He writes most of the jokes, I'm pretty sure. Let me check. Yeah, he's credited as a writer and producer for all three of the movies. A lot of I get a lot of the humor comes straight from him. So the delivery on all of the jokes is usually really good. Usually we're gonna talk about it.
Usually, yeah, you're gonna get some stinkers.
Yeah, he also did the jokes for Free Guy. So yeah.
We had the same director as Free Guy and Man Does It Show.
Yeah, it really does.
We had an interesting discussion. This is related to Deadpool, but we had an interesting discussion with one of our friends out for dinner about movies that have sauce, and it be like I think Deadpool 2. I think regardless of its flaws, okay, has a lot of sauce. It's a very saucy movie. I think David. It's David Lich.
David
Um,
Leitch.
David Leitch. His movies have sauce. Okay, the choreography, the action sequences, the way the movie is shot, the cinematography, just there's sauce behind them, right? And then we left him behind for some reason, and we went to Sean Levy. And not to say this movie's bad or that Sean Levy movies are bad, but like it's missing sauce, you know. It's just it's missing that little oomph, that little hot sauce on your eggs. That's what this movie's missing.
It's the difference between a movie that's got like good shit in it and like you watch it and you're like, "Oh my god, this is great. I love this movie." And it's the same like kind of experience. It's the same kind of movie with the same kind of quality, but after you watch it you're like, "Well, that was a movie."
Yeah, like I was rewatching some scenes from Deadpool 1 and 2, and specifically Deadpool 2, because I think Deadpool 2 is a better shot movie overall. It's the best shot of the three. I'm just like, man, how did we go from this to Sean Levy? Like, I feel bad because I'm shitting on this man who I don't know, and who owes me nothing. But Sean Levy is just he's not a bad director, but he's a very by the books director. And it's not all on him, I guess, right? Because there's other people involved, but he is manning the ship. He's at the helm, and it feels like it's lacking like flavor. You have like a nice steak, right? Like a good steak is good regardless of the seasoning, right? But imagine having an unseasoned steak. That's what a Sean Levy movie is.
Yeah, it's still a steak.
It's still a steak, unless you're real steel, but we don't talk about real steel. But like, it's still a steak. Deadpool Wolverine is still a steak, but like Deadpool 2 and 1 are like a well seasoned, perfect medium rare steak, and this is like just a good steak, And that's how I feel about these three movies. That's the best analogy you're getting out of it. I think Deadpool and Wolverine has good moments. It has good scenes. It has very memorable, quotable moments. But it's missing that oomph that I think the first two movies had. That puts it just a little bit behind. I have all three of these movies sitting at a 3.5 out of 5. So like they're all like on that same tier for me. I don't think one is a lot better than the others. I think they're all within that same tier. But this one is definitely the bottom of the three, I think. I wasn't so sure when I left the theater because obviously like it's still fresh, right? But now that I've had a couple weeks to think about it and so on, I think it is the weakest of the three. And yeah, so that's where I stand on the two movies. I think Deadpool 1 and 2 are really, really solid superhero movies. And this one's a good superhero movie, but it's just missing a little bit of that kick.
Yeah, I have the first movie at 4 out of 5. I have the second movie at 4 out of 5. Deadpool and Wolverine, I have 3.5 out of 5. For me, Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2, they're kind of like on the same tier. I still can't decide which one I like better. Some days is Deadpool 1, some days is Deadpool 2. I can't decide. They're kind of like they live on the same level in my head. But Deadpool and Wolverine, God, the name is so long. I'm just going to call it Deadpool 3. Deadpool 3, it's clearly the weakest of the three. It's still a good movie, but it's not as good as the other two.
Which is weird because I think performance-wise, this movie is great. We've been saying and Wolverine a lot, so like Hugh Jackman's back as Wolverine, right? And he's really good in this movie. And I think all the other main characters do a really good job. But I think just because Sean Levy is such a sauceless director, that it holds it back a little bit. But also, we've talked about this a lot, but we're in the multiverse saga of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? I'm over it. I'm just kind of over it now. Like I got No Way Home, I got this, and I'm done. I think I'm just like, give me other things, please. Give me the Batman 2. Give me superhero movies that are grounded, please. I'm tired of this multiverse stuff. That's my biggest takeaway from this movie. Is now I'm just officially over it.
Yeah, like we everybody knew this movie was going to be a huge cameo fest. I mean, that was what Pat predicted this movie
Yeah,
would be.
and I'm happy. I ate that shit up. There were cameos in this movie that made me scream in the theater. I'm not complaining. I'm very happy with a lot of the things I got from this movie. But I think now that it's done, it's over, the movie's finished, and I've had time to think about it, I'm just kind of done with the multiverse stuff. And I realize this is a very awkward time for me to say that because we have two multiverse Avengers movies and apparently another multiverse Spider-Man movie coming out that I'm very much not looking forward to. There's your Spider-Man reference. And I'm just kind of over the multiverse stuff. I'm ready to move on.
Yeah, same. I'm bored of it now.
In 5 years, when this is all done, I'm ready to move on.
I'm straight up bored of it now.
Yeah,
Like seeing cameos on screen is exciting, but after a while the excitement just like it goes away. Like just something about just cameos in movies in general. It's like you got that initial excitement seeing them on screen, and like the first couple lines it's like, "Oh wow, I can't believe they're in this movie." But then afterwards when the movie actually starts using their character, he just blends in and just becomes like it's just another character in the movie.
and I think this movie does a better job than certain other characters, like certain other movies. Like I think about the Flash a lot when thinking about this movie, the live action movie, not the show, the one starring Ezra Miller. Because I think this movie succeeds in a way that that movie failed, where that because they do the same thing conceptually, where they just have cameos from both existing movies and non-existent ones, and Gambit is in this movie, and that's a cameo to a character that doesn't exist. That movie never happened, right? Flash did similar things with like the Nicolas Cage Superman, and that movie is very cameo heavy, the same way this one is. But I think this one succeeds in the sense that this movie makes those characters feel like they're characters and they're not just shoehorned in, which I appreciate. And I could only hope that Secret Wars and Doomsday at least try to maintain that. They're not going to, but I can only hope that they try to maintain them. Like Elektra, Gambit, and Blade are in this movie, and X-23, but she's actually a story crucial character in this one, and obviously Hugh Jackman, but he is the lead. They're cameos, obviously, but they feel like well fleshed out characters, and that's more than I could say about everybody in the Flash, including the Flash. So I think this movie succeeds in the way that movie failed, but it doesn't negate the problem that I think Marvel, especially right now, is relying too much on cameos, and I'm just kind of over it and I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm just the over reliance on cameos is just like it's lessening the effect of cameos, and it's just it's putting the sour taste in my mouth about it.
Yeah, there was a time when I was excited to like see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in the movie again, but now it's created, and like now Hugh Jackman's back again, and it's created an expectation that like they're gonna come back again, and there's no confirmation of this, right? This is just fans speculating. But the fact that it's a possibility that they could come back again, just like I don't want that, you know. Like maybe I'm the weird one. I'm part of the minority who doesn't want that. At least on Twitter, that seems to be the case. But I don't want them back. Like I had my dinner. You know, I watched Spider Man 1, 2, and 3, and then I had my dessert with No Way Home. I don't want more. Like, I'm good. Let's put these characters to rest. Let's put Hugh Jackman to rest. Let's move on. I'm ready for the MCU to tackle the X-Men and mutants and cast their Wolverine, because all of this is doing. I realize I've been complaining a lot about this movie. I just want to get this out of the way. All bringing Hugh Jackman back again is just going to further prove the point that you can't replace Hugh Jackman. And while I think Hugh Jackman is great as this character and he is like the face to the name for a lot of people, I think it's time to cast someone new. And I say that knowing that Marvel just casted Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. But it's time to recast and bring in a new face, bring in new blood to play Wolverine. The same way we've done with Spider-Man in the past and other characters. It's time. Hugh Jackman served this time. He served it well for the most part. Looking at you, X-Men Origins. but I think it's time to let him go. And I think this movie does a good job at doing that. The way this movie ends. I just really hope we don't see him again. Please don't bring him back in Secret Wars. Hugh, you're not listening to this. Don't take the paycheck. You don't need it. Give it to me. Give me the money.
Yeah, I'll take it too. Don't give it to him. Give it to me. He doesn't deserve it. Give him to me.
If Kevin Feige approaches you, same Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, don't do it. They're gonna fucking do it.
They're gonna do it. It's their job. Their job as an actor. They're gonna do it.
Secret War is gonna be 3 hours of cameos. Nothing. They're not even gonna speak. It's just gonna cut from one cameo to another.
It'll just be 3 hours of the Avengers theme. That's the only audio in the whole movie, and then it's just a bunch of cameos.
And you know what? Still better than X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Speaking of Hugh Jackman, we're about to follow up on something that started all the way back in episode 27 of this show. Longtime viewers will remember this. Pat recommended me the first X-Men movie, and he said it in anticipation for me to continue watching them until I watched Logan. And it happened, guys. I watched it. I watched Logan.
What'd you think of Logan?
It was fucking amazing. You were right.
Logan's great. Logan's a fantastic movie. And my one fear for this movie came true, but they played it well, so I'm not even mad. I was worried that when they were gonna ruin Logan's ending in this movie, and they do, but it's 100% a joke, and they know what they're doing, and I loved it. I ate that shit up. Everyone's seen it, everyone's talking about it, but the opening credits is Deadpool fighting the TVA with Logan's fucking skeleton as weapons.
Yeah.
And it's playing Bye 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 by NSYNC. And I loved it. It was great. I'm happy that if that's the route they're gonna go, I'm happy they at least turned it into a big joke and it was funny and it was entertaining. I loved it. It was good. Because it still doesn't ruin the impact of Logan's ending, I don't think. And they still treat his death as something important. And it's even woven into the story in a way that's really weird that I'll talk about later. But it is woven into the story and it's not completely desecrated. Yeah, Logan's great. Logan's good. When I recommended you that, was this movie announced? I don't remember. I just wanted you to watch Logan.
Yeah, you just wanted me to watch Logan.
Well, it worked out long term, I guess. I had a plan. I was Kevin Feige.
Pat is the Kevin Feige of Fresh Off the Reel.
I'm gonna make sure cameos are over, guys. No, there will be no cameos in Fresh Off the Reel. We'll only have new characters, no cameos. Goodbye, Toon Man.
Yeah, sorry, Steph.
Oh, come on.
Oh yeah.
I'll replace you with the younger, better model. We're gonna be inevitably talk about Barnyard.
We're talking about you. You know. I don't know.
You know who you are.
You know who you are.
And Steph, I know you're listening. You know who we're talking about.
Anyways, Deadpool 3. Deadpool 1 and 2, really good movies. They're enjoyable. I didn't watch them in theaters. That I should have mentioned. I saw them at home. I didn't watch them in theaters. I didn't even watch them when they came out. But I still really liked the movies. Deadpool Wolverine, we watched in theaters.
Yeah, I don't think Deadpool 1 and 2 necessarily are like you can watch them at home and I think you get the same experience. I don't think they are must-watch theater movies. I think this movie is a theater movie though. And it's still enjoyable. I still had a good time with it, but I definitely feel like being in the theater with the crowd and everyone getting excited together makes the movie.
Yeah, it's like that with a lot of Marvel movies, and this movie's no exception.
And maybe that is a different problem, but it doesn't matter because I saw it in theater, so it's fine. It doesn't apply to me.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, who cares, right? Yeah, this movie, it's a very predictable plot. It's just the TVA is after Deadpool, which we all expected, but not for the reason you might think. And this movie actually makes a joke about it, so that's funny. If you remember that I did in Deadpool 2, Wade goes back in time with Cable's time travel thing. And we thought, oh, okay, so he's gonna go after the TVA is gonna go after Deadpool because he fucked with time. But wrong, which apparently that was supposed to happen. Deadpool was supposed to go back in time and kill Hitler. Maybe, supposedly. TVA didn't get involved with that. And they're actually getting involved because this movie introduces a brand new concept to the multiverse saga. And that they don't elaborate on at all. Is the universes have anchor beings, and the Fox universe's anchor being was Logan. So when the anchor being dies, the universe is essentially fucked, and there's nothing you can do about it. That is about as much as the movie says. They don't elaborate further than that. It's best we don't think about it because we could only hope it never comes up again. It's a stupid concept.
It's one of the stupidest multiverse concepts I've ever heard in my life. I've seen a lot of multiverse things in my life. That's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard.
Logan was the anchor being of the Fox universe, and the TVA is tasked to watch the universe just die, essentially. But our main villain, is he the, I don't know, secondary villain, I guess, because Cassandra Nova would be the main villain.
I guess.
But Mr. TVA man's like, no, we're not gonna watch the universe explode. We're gonna kill it now. So Deadpool originally goes on a journey to find a replacement Wolverine, and that leads into a related adventure where they end up in like the void, and they're trying to get back home, and also let's hype Logan up because this Logan sucks and he's the worst for whatever reason. This one is the worst Wolverine, which the movie kind of hypes up that, oh, like this Logan sucks, he can't help you, he did the worst, most unimaginable thing, and what he did wrong was he's a bit of a pussy, and he ran when the humans went after the X-Men,
Oh
and
no.
then he got angry and killed a bunch of people, which is bad, but I would have thought he did something worse. It's still pretty bad, I guess. All the X-Men are dead, and it's kind of his fault, but not really, because all he did was not help, but and then made things worse for everybody. Like the movie even starts with him sitting at a bar and he's like not arrested or anything. So it can't be that bad, you know? Like
People are still alive.
yeah, and like no one's like afraid of him. He's just in a bar and they're like, can you like leave? I don't want to serve you, you know? like all I'm saying is this can't be the worst Logan. Like as a person, he can't be the worst one. But that's our story is Deadpool and Wolverine. That's the title. Go on a journey to return back to the Fox universe, and Logan has to learn what it means to become a hero again, and Deadpool has to find his family and save his home again because he needs to feel important. He needs to matter. And Vanessa is for the third movie his motivation because that's the only plot points we could give Deadpool in these movies.
And Wolverine needs to learn the power of friendship.
Yeah, or the power of family. If you know, you know. That's like the really basic, like really poorly told version of this movie story. I like it. I think it's fun. It's kind of like a weird superhero buddy cop adventure. I think Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman have a lot of chemistry together. I think they bounce off each other very well, which was important. I think they needed to work well together for this movie to succeed at all. And they do a good job.
Yeah, considering the last time they worked together was in X-Men Origins, they actually have really good chemistry, and that it works well in this movie. Hugh Jackman, you don't really picture him as like a funny comedic guy, but some of the things he says in this movie are pretty funny.
Yeah, he says some actually pretty funny things in this movie. In a Wolverine kind of way, which works. But like, he's actually like a pretty funny guy.
Yeah, although I'm a little tired of seeing Hugh Jackman played Wolverine, please get somebody else next time. He's still the best Wolverine on screen. He's still really good at it. He really sinks into his roles. You can really feel his character on screen. The bad part about this movie is not the performances. They're all good except for one.
Okay, let's talk about that now. I'll talk about Mr. Gambit.
Yeah.
So this movie, like we've mentioned, complained about, this movie is full of cameos, right? One of them is Gambit, the X-Men.
The card guy.
The card guy. If you've seen the '90s animated series, he's a very popular character.
He's my favorite X-Man.
He's cool. I love Gambit. And a long time ago, Channing Tatum was trying to get this movie made the same way Ryan Reynolds did with Deadpool. He really like pivoted the what's the word? Not pivoted. He really pushed for this Gambit movie to be made, and it never happened. So Ryan Reynolds approached him with this opportunity to play Gambit in this movie, and it sure is a performance. Not to be fair to Channing Tatum, it's pretty obvious in the movie, but a lot of people didn't get it, I guess. So they had to outright confirm and say it publicly. It's a bad performance on purpose.
Yeah.
Like he was told to speak in an accent that like you could barely understand. Like this was it was purposely bad. It still is what we were given, so we have to talk about it. He has an interesting accent in this movie.
Yeah, he's got a weird accent. I don't know. I don't remember what he sounded like in the cartoon, but he didn't sound like that.
He sure made a name for himself.
Oh, I'm about to make a man for myself here.
Let's see. There you go. I wasn't gonna say it.
He did it on purpose, and I don't know how people didn't realize that, because Deadpool literally makes comments about not being able to understand what he's saying. It's clearly part of the movie. But I'm seeing so many people out there saying that putting Gambit in this movie was a huge mistake. They just missed the joke. They missed the point.
Yeah, I think they just missed the joke because he's hilarious. Like he's really funny.
I love him. I love him in this movie. I really like Gambit as a superhero. Gambit's my favorite X-Men. I used to love watching the cartoon.
Yeah, he's great, and he's great in X-Men '97. From what I've heard, I haven't seen it yet. And honestly, I'm not opposed to Channing Tatum getting an actual opportunity to play Gambit in the future if that's a route they're gonna think to take. I don't think they will, but you never know. I wouldn't be opposed to it, right? It's kind of like when John Krasinski played Mr. Fantastic, but now that we have it, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing him do it again. But his case is also different because we never had a Gambit, right? So or at least a Gambit solo movie. So I think he deserves another shot where he's not purposely doing a poor accent.
If there is a Gambit movie, I don't know if I want Channing Tatum to be Gambit. I
I
think
I, I think I'd ideally want a younger actor, but I wouldn't be opposed to it.
yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to it if the voice was an actual voice.
Yeah, it would have to be an actual voice.
Because
Right?
when I
Okay.
look at Channing Tatum, I just think comedy movie. When I look at him,
My name is Jeff.
21 Jump Street, yeah, like a Free Guy. He was in Free Guy. He was in She's the Man.
He was also in Free Guy.
Yeah,
Man, Sean Levy, he really picks him.
he was in the Hateful Eight, and he was pretty good in the Hateful Eight, but he didn't have a big role.
I like Channing Tatum. I think he's a funny guy. I think he could play a Gambit in an actual like serious movie. I don't think he'll get that chance though.
I don't think he will. I mean, Magic, like, when I see it, all I think Magic Mike. That's all I think. You know, I see Channing Tatum on screen. That's Magic Mike.
But like, if this is it, if this is all we're getting, I enjoyed this performance. You're meant to laugh at it. In that regard, I think it succeeds. And he's cool. His powers are cool. Gambit's just a cool character. It was cool to see him in live action. The same can be said about our other cameos. We'll just run through the cameos now. It just isn't really a better time to. But Elektra from the 2003 Daredevil is in this, and apparently Ben Affleck was planned as well. This concept art of Ben Affleck and Nick Cage's Ghost Rider. I don't know if they were approached and they declined, or it was just an early concept that they wanted to and things fell through. But we have Elektra, and Elektra's cool. She's in this movie. She does the thing with like the size, like she flips them around. I like Elektra. She's cool. She doesn't feel like she chews up space. I think she's fine in this movie. She's easily the least important of the cameos. But it was cool to see her. And then we have Blade as Wesley Snipes is back. I was very excited to see Wesley Snipes, and I knew Blade was going to be in this movie in some way or another. I wasn't spoiled at all. I went into this one for the first time, completely unspoiled, and
Yeah, for real.
I had a feeling that it was either going to be Wesley Snipes or Muhammad Ali, right?
No.
No, who's playing Blade now?
First of all, Muhammad Ali was a boxer.
True, I'm right. Yeah. But who's playing?
It's
Who's playing?
Mahershala Ali.
Marshall. There you go. I'm sorry. My bad, guys. I thought he was going to be in it or Wesley Snipes. It would have been one or the other, just as like some cross promotion. Because that Blade movie is still coming out, despite it being in development hell currently at the time of recording. God knows if that movie's actually gonna come out, right?
Well, he said in the movie there's only gonna be one Blade, so.
Yeah, but is that a joke about that movie never coming out, or does he not know, right? And no one tell him. No one tell him, right? That's two jokes.
Don't tell Wesley Snipes.
They gave us two jokes for the price of one, okay? But it was cool to see Wesley Snipes. I like those old Blade movies. They're not good, but I like them.
I've never seen them.
We can watch. I'd watch them with you if you're ever interested. I'd watch them with you.
I'd be down to watch them.
They're fun, campy superhero movies from the 2000s, right? They're like the 90s, 2000s. they're fun. I think people give them a lot of shit, and some of it is warranted. But they're fun movies in the same way like Spider-Man 1 is fun, and X-Men first one is fun. It's a different era of comic book movie.
Yeah, I'd give it a watch. It sounds like a fun movie, but I can't believe that Wesley Snipes even agreed to come back because he notoriously hated playing Blade back in the day. Well, I guess a long time has passed, so it's probably like it's been 20 years. Holy crap, it's been 20 years. Blade Trinity was in 2004.
Yeah, the first Blade was like 99, 98,
Yeah,
some crazy.
98. Just to tell you guys how much he hated playing Blade, you probably know about the scene in Blade Trinity, where he was on the hospital bed and he all he had to do was open his eyes. That's the only thing he had to do, but he just refused to do it, and they had to CG his eyes open.
I mean, when Kevin Feige comes to your door with a paycheck, you don't turn down the mouse. The mouse gives good money. And honestly, I can't blame him. Because, like, if Mickey Mouse came to my door with a paycheck, you know I'm taking it, right?
If you don't, he'll kill you.
What's Wesley Snipes even up to these days? Like, does he still act?
Let's find out.
I can't imagine he's up to much.
He was in a movie called Back on the Strip, and another movie in 2021 called True Story.
Yeah, I'm looking at all his movies, and there's nothing that I've seen, so I don't think he's been up to much.
He was in the Coming to America sequel.
Okay. Well, he's in Deadpool Wolverine, and he's cool. He's fun.
Yeah, he's
I
fun.
get to watch him fight off Deadpool variants and evil mutants from the X-Men movies with his katana and his gun. And it's cool.
Yeah, it was cool seeing Blade. I hope we get that Blade movie. Like I hope it comes out one day.
I hope it comes out. I hope.
You know what's another thing? I think it was Last Game Awards or something. Not a video game podcast, but Last Game Awards, a Blade video game was announced, and that got canceled because the studio shut down or something.
Like Blade is not good when it comes to getting projects off the ground, apparently. But he's in Marvel Midnight Suns, and that's pretty cool. And he's in Marvel Snap. Fans of the channel know Pat loves Marvel Snap. I guess might be the first time I've referenced it on the podcast, but I talk about it a lot privately and on streams.
I just looked it up because you know how in May Microsoft closed a bunch of studios.
Was the one making the Blade game one of the ones that got cut?
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Arcane was making the Blade game. Apparently, but I'm looking on Wikipedia, it says the game is still being made, so maybe some other studio picked it up.
I guess we'll find out eventually.
Because I think a Blade video game would work.
Yeah, for sure. Make it like a character action game or like an God of War type game. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like just killing vampires. That'd be sick.
Just don't get Insomniac to do it. Please let Insomniac do anything else.
Yeah, like Ratchet and Clank.
Nah, what do you? I think you mean Spider-Man.
No, I mean Ratchet and Clank. Or Insomniac. You know what's another thing Insomniac should do? Sunset Overdrive 2. That'd be fun. Or you know what? Abandon all that and just make a new game.
Nah, we're gonna make Venom 2. Venom 1 hasn't been made.
Venom 1 is not even a thing.
They're making Venom 2, baby.
Knack 3, guys. That's what they should do. Knack 3, baby. I can't wait for Knack 3 to come out, and then Donkey's gonna make a video like, you know, guys, I gotta confess, I don't actually like Knack 2, but Knack 3 though.
Knack 3 is gonna happen.
Knack is back.
Not a video game podcast, by the way.
Yeah, we should start one. Fresh off the controller.
Fresh off the Wii Fit balance board.
Fresh off the Rollin' Rocker.
Write that one down.
That's the one. That's the
That's
one.
the one. That's our first spin-off. Yeah, after Blade, we have. I think this is the big one aside from X-23, but I think the big one was Chris Evans coming back as not Captain America, but as Johnny Storm. I was really happy to see him. He's not in the movie for long. He gets killed off pretty early, and even that death is treated as a joke. Something that's common in the Deadpool trilogy. It's not exclusive to this movie. But I think like it was just really cool to see him again. I don't know why lately, but with like all the Fantastic Four news, especially at, like I think it was the CinemaCon or D23. One of the recent cons where we got news about the Fantastic Four. I've just been in a big Fantastic Four mood. I've been wanting to rewatch those movies, and it was nice to see Chris Evans back. I had a feeling Chris Evans was going to be in the movie because in my personal, like our private Discord server, one of my friends who had seen the movie before us posted a GIF of Captain America in general chat, just unprompted, and it was like animated series Captain America. It wasn't Chris Evans, but I knew he had seen the movie, and I saw that GIF. I'm like, Chris Evans is in the movie, but
Yeah.
he's trying to trick me. He's gonna be Human Torch. He's not gonna be Captain America. I fucking called it. I'm Kevin Feige, bro. I'm him. But yeah, he's in this movie. He's awesome. I love to see him. Like even though he died or he got his powers like stolen, he got sucked. As soon as he said flame on and transformed. Right? I just loved it. Like I realized I'm part of the problem of like because like Marvel keeps making these cameo fest multiverse movies because people just keep eating dumb shit like that up. But when he said flame on, I ate that shit up. I became part of the problem.
It was a cool scene. I liked
It
it.
was a cool scene. He's in the movie too little. I think he should have been in it more. I think they wasted him by killing him off so early. But also, it was funny, and we got a funny post credit scene. So sometimes you gotta make sacrifices, you know.
I thought it was a good cameo. I liked it. I think it's my favorite cameo in the whole movie.
Yeah, it's my favorite as well. Aside from Daphne Keane as X-23, who they put in the trailer that came out the week before the movie came out, and I really fucking wish they didn't.
Yeah, me too. Like we were at a restaurant and we were just chilling. We were just hanging out. And then I was like, "Hold on, I need to go to the bathroom." I go to the bathroom, I pull out my phone, and it's the first thing I see on Instagram. The first thing I see. I didn't even look for it. I just opened Instagram and I saw IGN. I'm blaming you, IGN. There was like, oh, Daphne Keane coming back as X-23 and Deadpool Wolverine. I didn't want to know that. I was purposely not watching that trailer.
Yeah, same. I purposely like stayed away from that trailer, and I got fucking ruined for me.
That would have been such a good surprise, but nope. Sorry. Thanks, IGN.
In the age of the internet, we don't get surprises anymore. Remember when you could just watch something or play something, and like you weren't on the internet, so you didn't know things, and you just got to enjoy it raw?
Well, I still do that. You're addicted to Twitter, so
Yeah, I don't do that. I can't do that anymore. I have a problem.
I played Breath of the Wild like 5 years after it came out. And you know me, I'm a huge Zelda nerd. Anything that has to do with Zelda, I'm there for it. But I avoided Breath of the Wild like the Black Plague because I wanted to experience it myself. And I didn't have a Switch until like 5 years after the Switch came out. And then I got to play Breath of the Wild. And I was still playing it blind. I played the whole thing blind for 5 years.
I'm not even a Zelda fan, and I got Breath of the Wild spoiled before the game came out.
Yeah. That's the difference of being addicted to Twitter and not being addicted to Twitter.
I can't stay away from Elon Musk. His Elden Ring build, it calls me.
But those are all the cameos. None of them like were stupid cameos. I don't think like they were all like none of them overstayed their welcome. They were good cameos. I mean, like the Thor one kind of made me cringe a little bit.
And the Thor one's like clearly a joke though, so I didn't like pay much attention to it.
Yeah.
None of the cameos did that thing that a lot of these movies do, where they like hold the camera on the actor, where like the audience is supposed to like applaud and scream and stand up in the theater. Like this movie doesn't do that, which I appreciated.
If you guys listening have no idea what we're talking about, go watch No Way Home and watch the scene where Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield come in.
There's clearly a fucking like 5 to 10 second gap where he just like stands there and doesn't move or say anything, and that's when you're supposed to be clapping. And you probably didn't notice when you watched it in theaters because you were clapping.
Yeah, you fucking simpletons.
I know you were. Don't lie to me. I was too.
This one's even worse. Like honestly, the camera holds on him for so long. Go watch Infinity War. Go in the scene in the train station where Captain America shows up. The camera stays on Captain America for like 10 seconds.
They do the same thing in like Endgame, like every fucking like in the portal scene, they pause on everybody for like 5 seconds.
It's so
like, don't lie to me. I know you were clapping. I mean, not you, Lib, because you watched it at home. But you,
all the movies we just mentioned, I watched at home.
yeah, you, Mr. Audience or Mrs. Audience member who watched it in theaters. I know you were clapping. And Marvel knows too, so like they keep doing that shit. But thankfully, at least there weren't any that were like super obvious and noticeable in this movie. They definitely paused for like a bit when Daphne Keane walked down the stairs in this movie, right when she's first seen, which would have been great if it wasn't in the trailer a week before. But I digress. This movie doesn't hold on them for too long, which I appreciate.
I think so far the only movie I've seen in a theater that made me scream from a cameo is Doctor Strange 2 when John Krasinski came up on screen, and it was also like right after I'd finished watching The Office for the first time. So it's John Krasinski was very fresh in my mind. It just surprised me seeing him on screen.
You were like, man, Jim Halpert got buff.
Yeah, he got buff. When did he start wearing blue?
Go watch Jack Ryan Forever Born.
Yeah, no, seriously, guys, watch Jack Ryan. It's good.
If you want to watch Jim Halpert beat the shit out of people.
And shoot guns. Wait, have you seen If?
No, I haven't.
I haven't seen If either.
Heard it's not good.
Yeah.
I think Steph, Toon Man, for the audience, he saw it. He said it was fun.
He saw it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was him I talked to about it with. It might have been no, it would have had to have been him. There's no one else I know that would have watched If.
Yeah, he probably what? Yeah. I heard it was okay.
Steph kind of looks like that purple guy in If, so I think it was.
What?
He's gonna be so pissed off watching this episode. But yeah. So speaking of the movie we're supposed to be talking about.
Oh yeah, Deadpool 3. Yeah. Hello and welcome to the middle of this episode. We recording this a week later. Pat, explain.
So we recorded the whole episode of the Deadpool Wolverine movie, and despite having very strong opinions before having seen the movie, and then after having seen the movie, I forgot to mention the suits completely.
So we're here to talk about the suits.
Yeah. So we got a new suit for Deadpool in this movie, and Wolverine. We got to see his comic accurate yellow suit for the first time on screen. At least the first time we've ever seen him wear it, because there's that joke in the Wolverine that sucks, and I don't like talking about it. I don't know, like you've seen the Wolverine, right, Lib?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay, well there's a cut scene from that movie where I can't remember the character's name, but someone gives Logan a briefcase with the comic suit in it, and he's like, not a fucking chance.
Is it like in DMC where he gets the long hair wig and he takes it out? He's like, not a chance.
Yeah, it's literally exactly that. It's exactly that. Yeah, so this is the first time we see Logan wear the comic accurate suit in a movie. I had issues with the suit on like a design level, but not to get like too nerdy, I think the suit looks good.
You could talk about the shoulder pads. It's okay.
Okay, I mean, like shoulder pads aside, I don't like the shoulder pads. Don't get me wrong, but so in the comics, we like those like slits he has like on the sides, like on the side of his like waist.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Like,
yeah,
yeah. So in the comics, those are supposed to be claws. Like they're like claw marks. I guess they just it looked stupid, so they changed it. But I don't think this direction was necessarily better. It kind of makes the suit look a little over designed. I kind of wish they were just like black claw marks. But aside from that, and like the shoulder pads, which I'm sure everybody has heard everyone nerdy talk about, where like when he loses the sleeves, he also loses the shoulder pads and it kind of looks awkward. But other than that, I think the suit looks really good. I actually really like the mask a lot, especially the white eyes. I think this is the first time they've done white eyes in live action that it looked good. I think it's the first time ever, I think, in a blockbuster movie, aside from Deadpool. But Deadpool's eyes are animated, whereas Wolverine's aren't.
Spider-Man's eyes are white.
No, but I mean, like, you know how Batman has like his mask, and then everyone thought like it wouldn't look good with like the white eyes because they don't animate the eyes. I think this is an example of it looking good. I do like the white eyes here, and I'd like to see a Batman suit in the future. Try it at least. Like Spider-Man's eyes are different because like they're big, and then especially like Homecoming, they are animated. Like Deadpool's eyes are animated as well, so like it looks fine. Wolverine's aren't. It's just a mask, but I think it looks good, and I'd like to see a Batman take on that in the future. I like the Deadpool calls them blowjob handles. I like the blowjob handles. They look good. Overall, I think the suit looks good. I like that it's vibrant. I could do. I wish he kept the shoulder pads when he lost the sleeves, but it's fine. I won't lose sleep over it. Clearly, I forgot to talk about it when we recorded it the first time, so I'm not that hurt over it. But just if Hugh Jackman ever comes back, which I think after this movie's success is probably gonna happen, despite me not wanting it, it's probably gonna happen. I hope if he wears this suit again, or a variation of it, I hope he keeps the shoulder pads and loses the sleeves. Kind of like the suit he wears, you know, like at the beginning of the movie when Deadpool's like hopping through the multiverse to find a Logan. There's that Wolverine that fights Hulk. That suit looked perfect. Okay, like give me that suit, and I'm happy. I'm a happy camper.
Yeah, that was a cool suit.
Do you have any thoughts on the Logan suit before we move on to Deadpool's, because it is new in this movie?
No, I have no connection to Wolverine whatsoever.
Well, do you like this suit in the movie? You think it looks good?
Uh, Look, I'm gonna be honest. I get why they didn't do it before. I think it looks stupid.
That's comic books for you.
I think a bright yellow suit looks stupid.
I think if they would have went like a darker yellow and like the brown instead of blue, I think it would have like the Hulk fight one. I think that one looks good.
Yeah,
That would have been down for that one. But I do like the suit. Deadpool has a new suit as well. It's mostly the same.
it's a brighter red.
It's a much brighter red, which I like personally. I think it looks good. And I don't know if it's intentional, but like the black bit like around his like neck and chest kind of looks like a tie, and I like that. Probably not intentional. Like definitely me reading into it a bit too much. But I do like Deadpool's suit in this movie. I think it looks good.
Yeah, I like Deadpool suit in this movie a lot more than the last one. It's like brighter red. It looks cooler, I think.
He pops more.
Yeah, he pops on screen more. I like the belt in this one, like the belt, like the Deadpool face logo on his belt is bigger.
Yeah, and he actually the belt is more visible overall. It's like bigger. I'm pretty sure it's just a bigger belt.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like a bunch of random plate armor.
Well, we did see that, but that's which Deadpool variant was that? The nice one, nice pool.
Yeah, nice pool.
Yeah, all the other Deadpools, like I don't really have a take. They're all fine. The costumes, nice pool. I'm pretty sure it looks bad on purpose. I like to think that that's them mocking the MCU suits to a degree. It's very like platy. It's very over designed. It looks bad, but I'm willing to bet on purpose.
Yeah, it looks like it's made of plastic.
All the other returning characters have new outfits as well. I don't have that strong opinion on most of them, except Gambit's, who I think looks very good, and it's his first time wearing it. Obviously, we don't have a comparison for Gambit. This is his first, and it looks good. And they also confirmed they put out a deleted scene. I don't know how people generally feel about deleted scenes. Obviously, they're removed from the movies for a reason. They did put out the deleted scene of Gambit surviving in the end. So maybe we'll see Gambit again in the future. Who knows? Or I mean, Channing Tatum's Gambit, of course. Maybe it won't be a intentionally bad performance again. I think his suit looks good. This is about suits. The suit looks good.
Yeah, I think the suit for Gambit looks really good. I like the trench coat a lot.
Yeah, and I think it looks less silly in live action than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, I think the face thing. It's not a mask. What is it? Like,
It's kind of a mask. It like doesn't cover his face, but it goes like around his head, and his hair is
I don't know what to call it. That still looks a little weird.
It does. I didn't like it when Miles Morales did it in Spider-Man 2, and I don't love the design concept, but it is part of Gambit's design, so like, and I think it looks fine for what it is.
Yeah.
It's just not a design I agree with. I'm looking at the cast. Like, there's an official photo of all of them together, like, and before the big fight scene. I think Blade and Elektra suits are the same. Actually, I'm not 100% sure.
Blade suit is just like it's just black armor, so it's like,
Yeah, and he wears his coat when he's introduced.
yeah, it's nothing crazy.
And Elektra's suit, I'm pretty sure, is the same one from her movie.
Yeah, and that's all the suits, I guess. Like, yeah. So costume design, like, do you think this might get nominated for costume design?
No.
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 Superhero movies usually do.
They usually do. I can't. You know what? Maybe because I can't think of. Granted, I haven't like watched a lot of movies that have come out this year yet. I've been slacking, so I don't know what's necessarily a contender. So this one might. I just like I don't know. I think they look good, but I wouldn't give it like an Oscar nomination.
Yeah, I think what's in line right now to get nominated for that? Dune probably, Furiosa maybe.
And there's like a lot of in this one, Mike. There's a lot of characters. Like there's even like Sabretooth and Juggernaut, and there's a lot of characters in this movie that are like barely in the movie, but they do get like pretty good costumes. So maybe this will.
Yeah, maybe it will. I mean, Suicide Squad did, so
True. I mean, that one had good costume design too. This one might. Maybe I'm letting the shoulder pads get to me too much.
yeah, I think it will. Maybe it's just like because it's costumes from other movies, but just slightly updated. But I don't know. Maybe they'll put some.
Is there another superhero movie coming out this year?
No. Marvel really slowed down.
Oh, the Craven and Venom and Joker like just came out. Madam Web was this year. Okay, I'll shut up. That's a lot of them.
Madam Web's costumes were garbage. Venom's not gonna have costumes.
Madam Web's like her specifically, her costume is garbage.
Well, I mean that's everything. That's we talked about the suits. We did it.
We did it only like a week late.
Yeah, sorry guys. Back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah, so we talked about one villain, the TVA guy. His name is Paradox, right? Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
Paradox.
Mr. Paradox.
But we have a main antagonist who's not Mr. Paradox. It's Cassandra Nova. It's Professor Xavier's twin sister. Who I just want to say this now because there isn't a better time. I'm really happy Patrick Stewart didn't come back in this movie. We got him in Multiverse of Madness. I'm happy they were able to calm themselves and not put him in this one too. Yeah, Cassandra Nova is the villain. Surprisingly, a lot of people I talked to in my personal life didn't know Cassandra Nova was like a character.
Yeah, I didn't know.
A lot of people thought she was an OC, which is interesting. Not necessarily a bad thing because she's not like a super like popular character, right? But I think it's cool that Marvel can still do that, take like these uncommon names and put them on the big screen and big roles, and it's cool. And I hope this character becomes memorable because she's cool. She was really good in this movie. I actually liked her a lot. Her powers are really awesome. They don't look too weird. They know like the CGI hand thing. You'd think it would have looked kind of stinky because Marvel CGI, haha. But it looked cool. Like I actually looked awesome, and I liked her motivation and her character in this movie. I think she does a great job.
The hand thing is gross.
I thought it was awesome. I wouldn't want it done to me, but like I thought it looked cool. Yeah, I think that's like the last thing I would want done to me.
It looks really gross. I don't want her fingers in my nose and my brain. I don't want to know what it feels like.
Creeping through your memories. Yeah, and Emma, I think Emma Corrin. I think I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but Emma Corrin plays her, and she does a good job. She's a relatively like unknown English actress. She is in the 2024 Nosferatu. If anyone is planning to see that, I don't think that's out yet. And so is another Deadpool actor, and Bill Skarsgård, isn't it? Is that relevant to this movie? No, because he's in Deadpool 2. But there you go.
Deadpool 2 is good. Go watch that one.
Yeah, Deadpool 2 is good. It's better than this one. I gotta be nice. I like this movie. This movie's good.
The negative points were coming. We both gave it 3.5. There's gonna be some negative points. It's not like the last episode where the only thing we had to say were good things.
Yeah, when I left the theater, I gave it a 4, and I lowered it to a 3.5 now. But like, I still think it's a good movie. I really enjoyed it a lot. I think the one thing a Deadpool movie needs to do well to succeed as a Deadpool movie is be fun.
Yeah, it's gotta be fun. It's gotta be comical.
Yeah, I don't need a super serious story. I don't need necessarily a grand epic. Which this movie does give you, but like as long as the movie is fun, it's entertaining. It succeeds as a Deadpool movie, and this movie does that. But it also like it does tell a personal story, and it does tell it does give Wade Wilson meaning as a character. He's not just a fucking jokester. The movie is about Wade trying to find meaning in his life, and then he finds it, through other people. And that's something a lot of people can relate to. And see, Deadpool's not just jokes, guys. He can be serious.
It's so crazy that the first movie, the whole thing was him trying to save Vanessa. Second movie, Vanessa dies at the beginning, and the whole thing he's doing for Vanessa, and then he goes back in time to save Vanessa. And then in this movie, they're broken up, and she's engaged to someone else. What the fuck is going on, Wade?
Maybe Wade Wilson's a bad significant other.
Yeah, no, maybe he just Vanessa just wasn't the right girl for him.
Yeah, it does kind of suck that this character only exists as like motivation for Deadpool, and it's 3 movies now. But I guess she's not a main character, but it's kind of sucks that they can't do anything for Wade as a character except use Vanessa as motivation. Even like he wants to be a superhero, he wants to matter because if he matters, then he'll be good enough for her. You know, like it's not even like for him. Maybe I don't know if they'll do a Deadpool 4. I don't need one personally.
Yeah, I think this movie like closes it off pretty well. His arc is he has a good arc. Like now he appreciates life and the people he's around. He appreciates them. So I'm okay with this until he shows up in the Avengers movies. So
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be in like Secret War and stuff. But I don't need a Deadpool 4. But if they ever do a Deadpool 4, I hope Vanessa is not just a MacGuffin.
yeah, I hope it's not like, oh no, Vanessa. I don't know what would the plot. I don't know. Someone kidnaps her again.
Something else happens and he has to do something else for Vanessa.
Then they're gonna break up, and then he's gonna has to prove to her that he's worth it again, and they're gonna go through the whole shebang again, and then they're gonna get back together.
Yeah, how about we like if we're gonna put Vanessa in these movies, how about we do something interesting with her? Thanks.
Give her powers. I don't know.
Apparently she has powers in the comic.
She does.
Apparently. I don't know anything about her character in the comic.
There you go. I thought she was an original character, but there you go.
No. I don't read a lot of Deadpool stuff. Because I don't really like comic Deadpool. Apparently she's an existing character and apparently she has powers.
Well, there you go. That's how you make her more interesting.
Or just have her be like a functioning member of the story instead of just being a MacGuffin. That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Fuck it. Hugh Jackman. Till you're 90.
Is that implying that he's gonna be Wolverine forever now? Hugh Jackman's coming back for Avengers.
It's clearly a joke, but I would not be surprised if he's in Avengers, like the Secret War specifically. I really don't want him to be. Like, please God, control your boner, Kevin.
Look, I know this Hugh Jackman is a different Hugh Jackman than the one from Logan. The Hugh Jackman from Logan is dead. That's a plot point in this movie that the whole reason the Fox universe is gonna be destroyed is because Hugh Jackman is dead or Wolverine is dead. So they get this Wolverine just to bring him bring him into this universe. Now there's another Hugh Jackman in this universe, which I don't think should work. Like the rules that they put out about the whole anchor being thing, I don't think that's how it should work.
That's not how it works. I don't think I remember at the end of the movie they like talked to like the TVA lady from Loki. I don't remember her name, but the one that's like actually in Loki at the end of the movie. And Wade is I'm probably wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I vaguely remember Wade being like, "Hey, my universe is dying. Can it like not die, please? I just saved everybody." And she's like, "Okay, we'll keep it from dying, I guess." And then they were like, "Okay, like I can Logan come over and I'll buy snacks." And she's like, "Okay, he could come over." And and then Daphne Keene is back too. I don't think the movie explains it much beyond that. It's definitely not Logan replaced Logan because earlier in the movie they say that you can't do that. I vaguely remember a conversation with the lady from the TV, and I don't remember what was said.
Yeah, unfortunately the movie's still in theaters, so we can't go check. So
Cough, cough. And
legally.
yeah, I think the universe is still either gonna die anyway, but like in thousands of years, so it doesn't matter for the characters present anyway. Which is what the movie presents to begin with. Like I don't know why Wade was making. I mean, I get it. I guess he's a hero. He doesn't want his universe to die, but like the whole anchor being thing is stupid. It's just a stupid plot point.
It's really dumb. Like they just made it up for this movie so that they can have some kind of motivation for Wade. Like just like the whole reason he does what he does in this movie is because he doesn't want his friends to die. What's even stupider is the whole thing about the anchor being and like the whole thing that that Mr. Paradox just wanted to destroy that universe just to get it over and done with quickly and not have to wait 1,000 years. That's fine, but why would they want to put him into the sacred timeline in the first place? I mean, if Mr. Paradox just didn't care and just wanted to destroy the universe right away, he would have done it. There'd be no movie.
I think because like his job was to sit and watch the universe die, right? I think his bosses told him to get Wade to bring him into the sacred timeline, because like we the whole killing the universe early thing was independent of what his orders were.
Yeah, just he wanted to do
So like
that.
his orders were to bring Wade to the sacred timeline and then watch the Fox universe die because Wade was special. But then he decided I'm gonna kill it early, but like they didn't know that, right? So like that's why Wade is was offered the actual explanation is because he needs to be in Avengers movies.
Yeah, that's
But
why.
in the movie, it's his the Paradox's orders were to offer the chance to Wade, and then watch the universe die. If Paradox was smart, he wouldn't have told Wade anything about all that universe dying shit. But then we wouldn't have a movie.
No, because I think Wade would have still been like, what about Peter? You know?
What about Peter? And then Paradox is like Peter Parker, right? Yeah, Spider-Man reference. I know the whole TVA anchor being thing is really dumb, and I feel like if it was gonna be brought up anywhere, this is a weird movie to bring it up in for the first time.
The anchor being thing is stupid. Like I think there was a way to make this movie work without having to introduce a whole new concept. I like the TVA itself. It's introduced in Loki, and I think introducing the TVA was a really good way to explain how multiverses work, and I like the TVA. It's a good concept. So far, everything about the TVA I've been a big fan of, except for the anchor being thing. It's just stupid.
Well, it just creates a bunch of questions like,
Like who's the anchor being in the sacred timeline?
does the sacred timeline not have one because it's the sacred timeline? Is it Loki technically because he's like the god of stories now?
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like I hear some people say that Robert Downey Jr. was the anchor being, but like no, because he's dead and the universe still exists.
Well, like when the anchor beings die, the universe only dies like thousands of years later. So if like Tony could still be the anchor being,
I don't think the sacred timeline has one because it's the sacred timeline.
I don't know. I just hope it's not Spider Man.
I hope the anchor beings just don't come up again because I don't like that concept. It's as bad. It's as stupid as midichlorians. It's as stupid as midichlorians because it puts like it does the same thing that midichlorians did. It's like, oh, it's not that anybody has the potential to be special. You're special, and you're the only one that can be special. That's what midichlorians did, and that's what the anchor being thing is doing. So no, I don't like anchor beings. I don't just fucking get
Yeah,
rid
no,
of that
I don't
shit.
like it either. I don't like how does it work like before the anchor being is born, right? Like the movie doesn't touch on that at all.
Yeah, like, and who decides who the anchor being is? Does Loki decide now? Because he's the god of stories. Does he decide?
Stanley decides.
Like, who knows?
And Logan is kind of like a good candidate because he's hypothetically immortal, right? But like, what if like the anchor being of like our universe, like real life, is like John down the street? Like, what happens when he dies? And what happened to the universe before John was born? Like, the movie doesn't explain it, and nothing is going to explain it unless this becomes a big deal. I just hope it doesn't. I hope it's never mentioned.
Yeah, and another thing that this movie doesn't explain is in the void. Whenever a universe gets purged, or whenever a person gets purged, they get thrown into this void. What I want to know is how the fuck did X-23 get into the void? They never explain it. Somebody purged her, and they never explain why.
We know that the TVA, and like the movie says it too. The TVA like sends problems to the void. It doesn't necessarily need to be like a world-ending threat. They just send people that like cause problems. So like maybe they just sent her there because she was being a shit disturber. I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's the best explanation I could
But
come
the
up
movie
with.
doesn't explain that. She's just there.
Yeah, she's just there. And it is the same X-23 from Logan. It's the one from the Fox universe. She's the only person from the Fox universe that's in the void right now, besides Deadpool. So, like, what the fuck is she doing there?
Well, yeah, because we don't. Yeah, I guess like Daredevil and Blade would be different universes.
Yeah, Blade's in a different universe. Gambit's in his own thing. Elektra was in it would be in the same universe as Daredevil. So they're all from different universes, right? And that means we also know that those universes have been purged. So those universes don't exist anymore. So maybe there won't be a Gambit movie. Unless there's a Gambit in the sacred timeline.
Wait, did they? Yeah, I guess it is established that their universes are gone and weren't just pruned.
Yeah, it wasn't
I don't
just
know.
them.
It's weird. It's weird, and like maybe like in Secret War, everybody's gonna end up in the void instead of Battle World. If you read comic books, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be in the void.
We'll have to see. Now that Cassandra Nova is dealt with, the void needs a new leader, and I guess that's easier to explain than Doctor Doom just being the leader of this country that just exists now. That's never been mentioned before because Robert Downey Jr. is fucking the main MCU Doctor Doom for some reason.
Makes no sense.
I hate that casting so much, but that's something we talked about last time. So.
I'm sure we'll talk about it when that movie comes out.
Yeah, or if like when Fantastic Four comes out and stuff.
Yeah, maybe. No, he's not gonna be in Fantastic Four.
Oh, I don't know, man. Maybe, maybe he will be.
Well, we know Galactus is the villain for Fantastic Four.
Yeah, but he could be in it just like in the movie, but not as the main villain. Right? Like Silver Surfer's in the movie too.
Well, how old is Doctor Doom? Would he be alive in the 60s?
At least Reed's age. He'd be Reed's age. So
Okay, yeah.
the casting is so like, oh my god, I could talk about this fucking casting forever. It's
It's
just
so
such
dumb. Like,
terrible
we
casting.
could talk about stupid shit that Marvel has done for an entire episode. That should be a whole episode. Stupid shit Marvel
Yeah,
has done.
if you ever need a filler episode, we have that in the back burner, I guess.
Yeah, that you know what? We're making that public. If we ever have absolutely no idea what to do for an episode, you guys will get a stupid shit that Marvel has done episode.
You want to know a fun Doctor Doom fact, like not related to anything?
Yeah, go ahead. What?
But Doom hates Reed so much that when Sue was giving birth to their child, she was like having complications and dying while in labor. The Fantastic Four, except Reed, called Doctor Doom for help because they knew that Reed like Doom would save this child just to spite Reed. And then he did it. He saved the daughter and his wife, and then made a like the agreement was I'll save this baby, but you need to like I get to pick the name of the baby, and I have to be the baby's godparent. And he did all that just so Reed every time Reed looks at his daughter, he has to think about Doctor Doom. He did it out of fucking spite. It's amazing.
What did he name the kid?
I can't remember. Let me look up. Hold on. I can't remember the
Did
name.
he name it Victor?
No. It's like a thought of name. Hold on, we're looking it up. It's a Valeria. It's like a Romanian name.
At least it's not a Victor.
And like Reed and Valeria and Doom are like really close.
Okay, yeah.
Like Doom like telepathically talks to her sometimes to check up. Like how's my godchild doing? Is your dad dead yet? Damn it. Let me know when he dies.
I love that Doctor Doom has every way, any way he wants. He could just kill Reed whenever he wants, but he just decides not to.
It's like when the Joker won't kill Batman because then crime has no punchline. I love Doctor Doom. He's such a great character, and he's being played by Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, you think I saw this picture on Instagram. It made me laugh so hard. You know how everybody wanted Cillian Murphy to be Doctor Doom?
Oh, it's like as the meme is like, oh yeah, get the guy from Oppenheimer, and he's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, they get the wrong guy. Kevin Feige was like, "Get me the guy from Oppenheimer."
Yeah, I'll get the guy from Oppenheimer. All right. I mean, I don't have that much else to say about this. I think the movie's good. It's fun. I think if you haven't seen it and you generally like Marvel stuff, I think it's good.
Yeah, I think it is worth. Obviously, you should watch the first two Deadpool movies first. This is a third movie in a trilogy. But I think it's also worth watching Logan before watching this movie to get the full picture. I'm not huge on Hugh Jackman coming back, right? Logan was a good send off, but it is a different Logan. So I'm okay with it. It's okay.
I think like barring Guardians 3 because that movie was good. Like it's like the best thing the MCU has put out in a long time.
Yeah, I would say so too.
I think Guardians 3 is a better movie, but like I'm like with that as the exception, I think this and Guardians 3 are some of the better MCU movies, at least in recent times. It's definitely the best thing to come out since like No Way Home, I'd say.
Yeah, I think so far. I think like if we're talking movies, then yeah, I think Guardians 3 is the best movie that's come out.
Yeah, I agree.
But if we're talking MCU in general, I think honestly Loki season 2 was so good. So I think Loki season 2 might be my favorite MCU thing that's been released recently. But yeah, so far, just I mean, I don't want to get into a big tangent. Just to make this quick, the MCU, it's dead already. It's over. We're done, guys. We lost. Good movies are dead.
Movies are over.
We'll never get a good movie ever again.
Scorsese was right.
He was right. We didn't listen to him, and fuck, he was right.
Did you see that quote from Quentin Tarantino yesterday?
No,
He was
what?
like, I'll never watch Toy Story 4 because Toy Story 3 was perfect. And as far as I'm concerned, that trilogy is perfect. And I'm never, even if 4 is good, I'm not watching it.
I love that. He's so right. He's so right.
He's right. He's actually right. I think more people need to apply that logic.
Yeah, so don't watch Toy Story 5, guys.
Yeah, if you see a good trilogy, don't watch the fourth one. Just make them, but with your wallets.
Yeah. So yeah, that was Deadpool and Wolverine. It was pretty good. Somehow, it is somehow Sean Levy's best movie. I'll add 3.5 out of 5. It's pretty good. I recommend it, and watch it in theaters. It's good.
Yeah.
And with that, we're gonna move on to our little TV show segment. Is there any TV shows you saw recently, Pat?
I've watched Chicago Fire and Chicago PD.
All right, same as last week. For me, yeah, not much really, but I have been thinking of rewatching Parks and Recreation. You might hear me talk about Parks and Recreation later.
Good show.
It is a really good show.
Yeah, and speaking of good things, we have another movie to talk about.
Time for Backloggd. This is the segment where we recommend each other movies to talk about in the next episode. Last time, Pat recommended me the Alfred Hitchcock classic Psycho, a movie that I had somehow never seen.
We watched that movie together last week, right? 2 weeks ago? Last week? Recently. I had previously seen this movie. I love this movie, like most people do. I think this is a really good movie. It has definitely shown its age. This movie released in 1960, after all. But I think it also shows its age in a good way, where like they were able to do things with such limited. I'm gonna say hardware, but it's not exactly the right
Limited resources.
resources. This movie is famous for one very specific scene, the shower scene. Oh, you had never seen it before, right?
No, this is the first time I watched Psycho. I've seen the shower scene millions of times.
Yeah, I mean, like the shower scene specifically. Okay.
Oh, the shower scene, I've seen it 1,000 times, yeah.
Yeah, it's been referenced in media forever. It's famous for a reason. Not aged the best.
Yeah, I mean,
um,
like, when you think of the shower scenes like such a famous scene, but then watching it in the movie, first of all, it's a lot earlier in the movie than I thought it was going to be. The shower scene is really good up until when we cut to Marion and she's like, we're like, oh God, oh, I'm being stabbed, oh God, you know, you know what I mean?
yeah, it's her exact quote.
I don't know. I think the scene, I'm sure the scene was really chilling back in the day, but now it's just like it looks fake.
It has aged. It has aged.
It has aged, but you know, I have to give it credit because 1960, Alfred Hitchcock, master of his craft. Really, this movie is amazing. It's got really good writing. The dialogue's really tight. I really like Norman Bates' character.
Yeah, he's really good. He's good at convincing you, which he's playing a psychopath.
This movie reminded me a lot of No Country for Old Men, actually.
Yeah.
It's like a psychopath, you know, and No Country for Old Men, you know he's a psychopath right away. I mean, the first scene in that movie is him killing a police officer. But in Psycho, you're not too sure at first. Like you think as when Marion gets to the motel, you just think that it's just a random motel. But no, that's where like 70% of the movie takes place. It's a good subverting your expectation because you just think it's a random motel guy. But no, he's a psychopath killer.
And this movie does something interesting that horror movies like just didn't do at the time, and movies in general don't really do like at all. Is they kill the protagonist?
Yeah, it's
You know,
true.
they kill the protagonist, and then there's this like it's like an 8-minute scene of Norman like cleaning up the murder, and like this is like easily like you're trying to ease you into like the shift where he becomes the main character, right, for like the rest of the movie. But it's super unsettling because you're watching him like do this clearly psychotic behavior, but then you're also kind of sitting down in the chair, like realizing, oh, like now we're following him. Like, oh fuck, like
Yeah.
it's creepy. It's creepy and unsettling.
Yeah, and then it goes from being a slasher escape movie to a heist movie, and or I should say a crime movie. And I love crime flicks. I really like what's his name, Sam, Marion's sister. I love her character. Everybody is great in this movie. Like the casting is amazing. I don't know how I had never seen it until now. I should watch more Hitchcock movies.
Yeah, and I mean, I recommended it to you because I knew you'd like it, and it's also a classic.
Hitchcock movies. We should watch more of those.
And down.
Cause I want to watch Rear Window because I hear it's really really good.
Yeah, we could do like a movie night.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, because the good thing about Hitchcock movies, well, for most of them, they're a little shorter than, movies these days. They're usually under 2 hours. So we can do like 2 or 3 Hitchcock movies in a night.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely down. And we could talk about them here, like just off the cuff, you know?
Yeah, we could do like a Hitchcock movie night and we make that into an episode.
We could even like fill in the TV show segment if you haven't watched the TV show to talk about. Oh, we watched this Hitchcock movie because we talked about that last time. You never know.
Yeah, we can do that. Look, we're always coming up with new ideas for this podcast. If you have an idea that might work well with this podcast, let us know because we want to change things up. It's always good to have some extra things to talk about because we love talking about things.
That we do.
Video game podcast spinoff.
Fresh off the Rollin' Rocker, that's what it was, right?
Yeah, fresh off the Rollin' Rocker. How about we call it Nostalgia Critic?
I don't like that name. Never say that to me again.
But yeah, I loved it. I gave Psycho 4.5 out of 5. I thought it was fantastic.
I already had it at a 5 out of 5, and it's staying as a 5 out of 5.
It's a great movie. You know, Pat, I recommended you a great movie. I recommended you Apocalypse Now and RRR, 2 fantastic movies, and then you recommended me another fantastic movie. I think we had it too good for too long.
Yeah, I'm getting a shitter, aren't I?
You're getting it's not terrible. The movie's not terrible. But the movie I'm going to recommend you today is actually a movie from my childhood.
Okay.
Picture this, okay?
That could be really good or really bad, because childhood movies are interesting.
Picture this. It's a beautiful evening. Like, let's say the year is 2008.
Okay.
You go to the video store, and you're there with your parents, and you want to rent a movie to watch as a family tonight. Right after supper, we go in the living room and enjoy a nice movie. What's the movie you would choose?
Silence of the Lambs.
That's a great pick. That's not what I was going for.
What movie were you going for?
The scenario I just played out for you is something that's actually happened to me. And the movie we picked, and we would pick this movie constantly, and we watched this movie like a million times. Rat Race. We would walk in to the video store, rent Rat Race, and watch it at home. And I'm telling you, that video store stayed open because of how many times we rented Rat Race.
I didn't know this was in my watch list. I didn't know this was a movie.
Yeah, this is a movie. Rat Race. It's actually, it's not a remake, but it's like a kind of, like a spiritual successor to It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. It's not as good as It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, but it's still pretty funny. I like it. It's a childhood movie of mine. I would like to watch it together.
Yeah, sure. We'll watch it together. I don't know when I added this to my watch list. I did not know this was a real movie.
This is a real movie, dude. Dude, look at this cast. Rowan Atkinson, John Cleese, Whoopi Goldberg, Seth Green.
That's a good cast. Wayne Knight's in it. I like Wayne Knight. He's in Jurassic Park.
Yeah. So, we're gonna enjoy a bit of Rat Race. It's a funny movie. I think it's really funny, but it is a movie from my childhood, and I haven't seen it in, like, I want to say 12 years. Like, maximum 12 years. So, yeah, I'm excited to rewatch it.
Yeah, we'll do that soon.
And with that, that'll close off today's episode of Fresh Off the Reel. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to listen. Tune in next episode where we are going to be talking about a goofy movie and an extremely goofy movie.
Yeah.
And the reason why Because, well, actually, this is actually a happy coincidence. I did not realize this until this moment exactly. Today, right now, at the time of recording, the day we're recording this is our 3-year anniversary.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah, it's today.
Happy anniversary!
Happy anniversary, everybody. Thank you guys so much for 3 years of Fresh Off the Reel. That's insane. How the fuck? It's already been 3. It feels like we started this podcast like a couple months ago.
Yeah, but 3 years running and plenty more to come.
So just to celebrate the occasion, just to do a little special episode for you guys, 2 of our guilty pleasure movies, a goofy movie and an extremely goofy movie.
I love these movies.
Both these movies are like both huge parts of both of our childhoods. They're just great movies. And if you haven't seen them, watch them right now so that you know what we're talking about next episode. But again, thank you guys for 3 years of Fresh Off the Reel. Here's to 3 more.
Let's go.
Let's go, baby. With that being said, thank you guys so much. If you like this episode and you want to hear more, then make sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss any updates. You could find us on our Linktree, linktr.ee/freshoffthereal, no spaces and no caps. There you could also find a place where you can recommend us a movie or a TV show, and we'll take your recommendation and make it into an episode. And also on that Linktree, you can find all of the places where you can listen to our lovely voices. They shut down Google Podcasts. Did you know this, Pat? You know they closed Google Podcasts?
I did not.
Yeah, fuck you, Google. We had people using it, but we're also we're now on Audible. So if you're listening on Audible, welcome. But thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see all of you in a theater near you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.